Hey Gaga, are you a Donald Trump fan?
Welcome to Celebrate Rush, where the drama never takes a break. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop your thoughts in the comments because this one's blowing up. Lady Gaga just went full savage on Donald Trump and trust. She held nothing back, no filters, no holding back, just pure unfiltered truth. You thought you knew Trump well, think again. Gaga didn't just throw some petty shadow, she dropped a bombshell. She spilled secrets so wild they'd have your grandma freezing mid-prayer and your conspiracy-obsessed uncle flipping furniture. This wasn't a casual clapback, folks. This was Gaga unleashing verbal grenades, designer heels planted firmly on his chest. She went full throttle, lighting up Trump's whole image like a fireworks show on steroids. Buckle up.
Donald Trump, a man who believes his fame gives him the right to grab one of your daughters or sisters or mother.
Picture a 4th of July fireworks show, but this time it's exploding right in the heart of Trump Tower. Lady Gaga turned up the heat hotter than Mar-a-Lago in July. And let me tell you that man's reputation melted faster than ice in Florida's summer sun. And get this, she didn't hold back, not one bit. Gaga delivered a one-woman performance so fiery and intense, even Broadway would been begging to sign her on the spot. The woman went full throttle, and it was nothing short of a spectacle.
Some people want to win races. Other people want to be president of the United States and change people's lives. It's about the intention. I believe that will reveal itself. People are smart. And I am hopeful that our nation is coming together. There's a lot of young people that really, really love each other. And if we can reestablish that human connection and get everyone to start speaking, I believe this device is...
This was no Popies, this was straight up Shakespeare and revenge mode. Even MC Beth would have been like, whoa, chill. Trump, the man who turned the White House into a reality show circus. Gaga dragged him like a diva, reading O'Neill Yelp reviews. But this time, there was no bounce back, no lawsuits, no rage posts on Truth Social, just silence, the kind that hits different when you've been really called out. Picture this: Gaga standing fierce in an outfit stitched from pure metaphor, sharper than Melania's coldest glare, serving lines so ruthless that even Trump's spray tan probably started peeling off in real time.
For more than half of this country's life, women didn't have a voice. Yet we raised children. We held our families together. We supported men as they made the decision. But tomorrow, women will be a part of making this decision. Today, I am holding in my heart all the tough, tenacious women who made me who I am. I cast my vote for someone who will be a president for all.
He claims he's the voice for the forgotten people, whatever that even means. Dudes out here twisting words like he's making balloon animals at a kid's party. But let's be real, if anyone's gonna take down a guy who probably thinks CUV thief is an actual word, it's Lady Gaga. Forget bad romance, said this was bad presidency, and Mother Monster was done playing nice. She had the spotlight, and she used every second like it was a mic drop moment. Trump's been moving like a busted-up animatronic from a dollar store amusement park, arms flailing, yelling about witch hunts, waving the Constitution around like it's a confusing IKEA manual he refuses to read. But Gaga, she grabbed that invisible mic, stared straight into the empty pit where his moral compass should have been, and hit him with a "you thought your scandals were bad, hold my mic."
He claims that he represents people who have been unrepresented, who haven't had a voice.
I think what is most important is for us to try to decipher now what is real and what is not, and what is honest and what is dishonest, and be accepting of those things and not operating.
This man has pulled off so many wild stunts over the years, even the most dramatic pop stars would be like, yo, that's too much. But Gaga, nah, she stepped up like, move aside, I've got receipts. And she wasn't just throwing out vague claims. No, these were real receipts, things that made even his most die-hard fans pause migrant, look around nervously, then mumble something about fake news before crawling back into their manga hideouts for years. We've all watched this guy act like some business genius, but seriously, how do you lose money running a casino? A casino, the one place where the house always wins, but somehow he dropped the ball harder than a toddler trying to juggle a gallon of milk and a Happy Meal at the same time. And don't even get me started on his time in the White House. Dude was making decisions so wild it felt like watching a cat trying to leap onto a spinning ceiling fan. Total chaos. Meanwhile, Gaga, she turned that spotlight into a stage and put on the show of the century, Donald Trump the musical. And let's be real, it was a full-blown comedy of errors. She laid it all bare, lawsuit after lawsuit, shady business moves, and hypocrisy so thick you'd need a chainsaw to cut through it. Watching her drag him wasn't even shady, it was clinical, like a roast, except instead of punchlines, she was dropping straight-up facts, smacking him left and right. And his response, a true work of delusion.
Right now, it's time for action. It's time to muster all of our energy, every ounce of us, every ounce of hope, and optimism, and enthusiasm, every ounce of fear and frustration and discouragement. Now is the time to show up and vote like this country depends on it, because
You could practically feel the all-caps nonsense brewing in his brain, pacing around, trying to come up with his next being targeted rant. He probably sat down to clap back, but got distracted counting how many American flags to cram into the background of his next video meltdown. It's the same tired routine every time. First, deny everything even when there's clear video evidence, then start pointing fingers at everyone. Hillary, Obama, the wind, the guy at Starbucks who spelled his name Trump. And of course, hit us with the victim card like he's the lead in some tragic play. But this ain't Shakespeare, fam. This is real life. And this man's been treating top-secret documents like junk mail or menus from his favorite burger joint. Now look, no one's saying Lady Gaga ended Trump's whole political run in one swoop. Let's be real, he's like a cat with 9 political lives and a lawyer on every line. But Gaga, she cranked the spotlight to full blast. And if there's one thing Trump can't stand, it's being hit with the cold truth, especially when it's served by a woman with a stronger brand, a tighter tan, and a fan base that actually shows up for her.
It's supposed to be for VIPs, right? Now he's got Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga is not too big. I could tell you plenty of stories. I could tell you stories about Lady.
At this point, what more is there to say? Trump built his entire image on the idea that he's this brilliant businessman, a strategic genius, and an all-American hero. But let's be real, is more like one of those gas station hot dogs that's been spinning under a heat lamp for 12 hours, overcooked, suspicious, and definitely not something you want anywhere near anything important. And Lady Gaga, she just walked right and pointed at that spinning mess and said, y'all see this right? No subtlety, no sugar coating, just pure facts dressed up in glitter and fire. Now the real question is what's next? Because if Trump's proven anything, it's that reality doesn't face him. The man could trip over his own scandal and still get up shouting fake news. He'll probably claim Gaga's part of some wild deep state plot, then turn around and start selling signed napkins with ketchup stains from his latest drive-through meltdown. But at this point, this ain't even about politics anymore. It's about the spectacle, and Gaga just made sure the spotlight's shining where it really belongs.
And I just want to say tonight that trans people are not invisible. Trans people deserve love. The queer community deserves to be lifted up. Music is love. Thank you.
But if you think Gaga was out here solo in her takedown, think again. She's not the only one in the music game calling him out. This is just basic logic, people. We're talking common sense here. Maybe the guy who once floated the idea of injecting disinfectant shouldn't be in charge of anything, right? And if it had to be Lady Gaga dressed like a high-fashion warning sign spelling it out for everyone in bold neon letters, then honestly, that's the kind of show this country needs right now. Big respect to Gaga. She didn't just call Trump out, she went full Vegas on him. Lights, drama, backup dancers, and a mic drop so loud it probably echoed through every gold-plated hallway at Mar-a-Lago. The crowd was gasping. The moment was legendary, and Trump, he's probably still sitting there trying to figure out how to slap his name on the mess and spin into a donation pitch. Because at the end of the day, truth doesn't matter to him. It's all about the brand, the image, and that right there is why he got exposed so hard in the first place.
To do it myself. I know it's not.
And it's not just Gaga. No, this is a full-on squad effort. Bruce Springsteen, John Legend, and even Chrissy Teigen all came in swinging no filter, no mercy. And this wasn't your usual celebrity tweet fest. Either it felt more like a full-on roast with these artists going straight for the jugular. They weren't playing Bruce. That man didn't need a script or a teleprompter. His entire legacy is built on the real struggles of working class folks, the very people Trump claimed to stand for, all while handing out billionaire tax breaks like they were free cheese samples at a big box store. You can't make this stuff up. It's like watching someone try to sell you a sandwich while they're eating caviar in the corner.
Whole legacy is about the real struggles of working class folks. The exact people Trump claimed to stand for, even while handing out billionaire tax breaks like they were free cheese samples at a big box store.
Donald Trump is the most dangerous candidate for president in my lifetime. His disdain for the sanctity of our Constitution, the sanctity of democracy, the sanctity of the rule of law, and the sanctity of the peaceful transfer of power should disqualify him from the office.
And John Legend, oh, he was on fire. Every note, every interview, he lit Trump up. Meanwhile, Chrissy Teigen had Twitter blazing with clapbacks that left absolutely no room for confusion. They weren't just criticizing, they were exposing, reminding everyone that behind the slogans and flags, there's a whole lot of smoke and not much fire. Bruce Springsteen, he didn't just take shots at Trump, he basically turned it into his side hustle. While Trump was out here hugging the flag like it was his prom date, Bruce was busy dropping truth bombs louder than any campaign rally. Springsteen reminded everyone that real patriotism isn't about wrapping yourself in red, white, and blue for photo ops. It's about making sure this country doesn't spiral into some messed-up reality show with no script and way too many commercial breaks. Let's be real, if anyone gets the heartbeat of working-class America, it's the guy who's been writing gritty anthems about factory life and everyday struggle for decades, not the dude whose idea of hard work is yelling you're fired in front of a camera crew.
It could be Donald Trump.
I have nothing to say